Hello, by cell phone. Hello.
Hello, I'm here.
Okay. So let's start with something today. Hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so today, you say you've not received the email I sent, and today we'll be looking at container variables or data types. Sometimes I can call it arrays. Okay, so let me share my screen so that work on it together. You see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Hello,
Can you hear
Abasefa.
me? Yes, can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Zephyr.
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay. So today we'll be looking at arrays, or you call it container variable. Why we give it array is because it is simply a data type that can hold more than, can store more than one data and store multiple data at the same time and store all the data type at the same time. So that's why they call it container variable. We are going to look at some of them. We start with a tuple. From the tuple, we get to the list. In the list, we look at the dictionaries and the sets. Then we see where we could take a class to an end. Are you still with me?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so we are going to start with this guy called the tuple. This is the first one we are starting with, tuple. So in Python, whenever you see a bracket, it is called tuple. It's not referred to as a bracket. Then the next one we'll look at is called the list. This is the list. Whenever you see a square bracket, it refers to as the list. And then the next one we call the set. The set and the dictionary are almost the same thing. You use the set when you see the brace brackets, that's the set or dictionary. So both of them are the same, they use the same symbol. The set and the dictionary, they use the same symbol. So we are going to see how we could actually use them in Python to write codes. So we start with the tuple, the first one there. Okay, so a tuple is used to store multiple items in a single variable. To store multiple items. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. A tuple is used to store multiple items in a single variable. It is denoted by the bracket I have shown you. It's denoted by these brackets. So whenever you want to declare a tuple, you use the bracket, the normal bracket to declare it. And a tuple is said to be mutable. Sorry, a tuple is immutable. A tuple is immutable. What is whenever they say immutability of a data in Python, it means it is unchangeable. It doesn't change its position. It remains where it is. So the items in a tuple are separated with strings and comma. You use strings and comma to separate them. Okay, so let's see an example of what we can do with a tuple. And then if you want to declare an empty tuple, you can say empty underscore tuple equal to this. That's an empty tuple when there is nothing inside. So let's say you want to make a list of fruits. You can say something like this equal to, then you open a tuple. Maybe the first one is say orange. See that? So that's a list of fruits. Remember I said a tuple is separated with commas, and each of the item is enclosed in a string. You can see that orange is enclosed in a string, separated with a comma. Apple, the same thing. Banana, the same thing. You can add as many items as you want in this tuple. That's why the whole of this is called now a container, because this fruit is able to store more than one fruit, one item, one variable, one data in a singular variable. That's why it is referred to as that. Then let's say we want to declare another tuple. Maybe we can say subject. You can say physics. Math, English, and so on. So that is also one of them. And then so the tuple fruit is used to store many fruits. So most of the functionality of a Python list as well as can be seen in that tuple. So the Python can be seen. So we are going to see most of the functionalities that's applicable. So we can in this tuple in the list. So this tuple now, whenever we are using the essence of bringing this now is for us to have the understanding that whenever you see a bracket like this in Python, you try as much as you could to use the right terms that is associating with it. For instance, if we see a quotation in Python, we don't call it a quotation again. We refer to it as a string. So when you see a bracket like this, you don't waste your time calling it a bracket. Instead, you call it a tuple. So majority of where we are going to waste more time is in the list, dictionary, and the set. Why we won't waste time here is because we say a tuple is unchangeable. You don't change the index, the where a tuple was placed. But in the list, you can always do some manipulations to it. So from here, you can simply say print, maybe print, let's say, fruits. So if you run this code now, you should be able to print all the fruits in there. us. See, it has printed this out. All right. You can print subject. If you print this one, it's going to display nothing because there is nothing, no data has been defined inside. So, and these ones inside are called elements. These fruits inside the items inside a tuple are referred to as elements, or the items inside a list are called elements. So these elements, as we say, that they are unchangeable, they are immutable. Okay, let's look at the list.
Okay, I have a question. Oh,
Mm,
when you printed your variable fruit,
mm,
you understand? It's the result still came out with the tuple and the strings still in it. Can't it be removed?
mm. No,
Okay.
the top with the string will not be removed, just like that. Okay, so now for a list in Python is denoted by the square bracket, which I showed earlier. So one list can contain different data types like string, integers, and objects. It can contain more than one data type. So the elements of a list are arranged with a definite sequence with indices starting from 0. A list is mutable. Remember, a tuple is immutable, but a list is mutable. A list is also ordered. You can order a list. And then all those methods we saw when we were talking about strings, we are going to see how we can use most of them also in a list. So there are two ways we can define a list in Python. The first one is using the list keyword. Maybe you can say something like, let's say, fruit equal to list. So this is the first way of defining a list. Or you can say subject equal to this. So these two things are the same thing. It is either you use the keyword for list and then you define a list this way, or you use this other one, the symbol for a list, and you define it this way. So from here, you can say maybe you define your first fruit to be maybe mango, orange, then you can do the same thing for this one. Okay, so another thing you have to note here, and whenever I'm writing code, I like using this one. So if you want to use this one, by default, this already comes with its bracket. It already comes with a tuple at the front of the keyword list. So if you want to bring in your element, the item in the list, you need to introduce another bracket, another tuple inside, and then you begin to list the element inside there now, like this. That's how the keyword accepts it. But if you use one like this, it's going to return an error. If you use it that way, it is not acceptable. So if you are using the keyword, you have to use two brackets, two uh, tuples there for you to be able to get it. And then also, if you want to make an empty list, you can say empty underscore list equal to this. Or you can also say equal to list. That's say any of those. That is how you can um, declare a tuple. Is that understood?
Yes.
Okay, so let's write a simple program that will display all the elements in a list. A simple program that will display all the elements in a list. Maybe we can say, okay, we can use this to be the example. Let's say this is the first list, this is the second list, and then you want to display the element in the list. You can say print fruits, and print subjects. So we run this and see the output. See now, that's printed. Even look at the first one, the fruit. You see now, it's not using the tuple we use. It doesn't use this bracket since it is a list. It has converted it into the symbol of a list without bringing up those brackets there. Okay, so let us write a program that will display letter F with stars. A program that will display letter F with stars. This was when I tried this, I was actually doing trial and error before I was able to get something. So maybe you can try with other letters later and see how it goes. So I'll open a list and put this 6, 2, 6, 2, 2, 6, 2, 6, 2, 2. So I will now say for, remember we have talked about loop statements. We have talked about the for loop. So we are going to say there, multiply this, put this in a string, give it a star, and times this. Let's see how this will go. Do you understand how it managed to print that? Are you still with me?
Yes, I'm with you. I said no, I did not understand.
Okay. So now, what does a for loop does? Remember, I said the other time, if you have a basket of fruits and you dip your hand inside, you bring out the first fruit, you dip your hand inside, you bring it out again, you pick so many fruits. That is, let's consider this now to be a basket containing different fruits in terms of first fruit 6, 2, 6, 2, 2. So the for loop now, will enter into this container. It will pick the first one. The first one is what? Is 6. The first thing here is 6. And this letter here stands for whatever is being picked inside. So whatever is being picked inside will be multiplied by star. This is multiplication sign. Will be multiplied by this star. So once you multiply that number you picked here by this star, that is 6 stars. And it displays the first 6 stars. If you count it to be 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It displays the first 6 stars. Then it will go into the container again, pick the second item, which is 2, multiply it by this star, and that is 2 stars. Comes again, pick this one, multiply by star, display the 6, the same thing to this one, the same thing to this, and then this one. Are you getting that?
Yes.
So is it possible for you to turn this to letter E? You can just change one thing in that code and it becomes letter E instead of F.
Say we can change one thing.
What's that we could change?
You just change that place in the variable that you wrote letter F, you change it to E. And in this
Mm,
for late.
no. That doesn't have any effect. Remember, it's a variable. You can call it anything. So even though I
Okay.
didn't call it letter F, even though I call it Y, what matters is my code.
Okay, wait. So what
Do
was
you
your question
understand?
again? Yes. What was the question?
I said this is a variable. So it
Okay.
doesn't affect the structure of my code. So even though I change this to Y, I change it to T, I change it to any other letter, the result will still remain the same. Where it will change is here. If I change this one now to 6, you see this last one here, instead of 2, it will extend to 6 to meet up with this ones. Have you seen
Okay.
that? And then it will give
Yes.
letter E. You
Okay.
see it now? So this one now doesn't have any effect. Whether you change it to E, it depends on what you have written in your code. That one now doesn't have any effect. You understand now?
Yes.
Mhm. So you can try to use this to maybe check out other letters, simple letters you could maybe construct with things like this. See how it works out. And remember, I said I used trial and error before I could get that. Okay, so let's look at slicing elements in a list. We want to see how we could slice an element in a list. Remember when we were dealing with a string, we also did slicing of a string where we could actually print out a specific portion of the string and not everything in the string. So in assessing the element in a list, the index of such element must be known. The index of such element must be known, must be specified. Then the square bracket is used in the print statement, the print function, to specify the index. Okay, so let's say we have this. Let me bring back the other codes. Okay, so now let's say this is, let me remove this and use just one. Remember, if I print this now, it's going to print out everything those 3 subjects have entered, you see, but I don't want the 3 of them. I need just maybe physics, I need just maybe mathematics, maybe English. So remember, when we are dealing with slicing the string, I told you that Python start is indexing, is counting from 0. So the position of this physics is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. So if I want to print only physics, I'll give it 0. If I want to print this one, I'll give it 1. If I want to print this, I give it 2. That is for positive index. Then for negative, you start from this side. This is -1, -2, and -3. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Are you there with me, Vasevan?
Yes.
Okay. So now, instead of me, did you get the explanation I was making?
Yes.
So now, so since I want to print physics, instead of me printing the whole subject, I will now slice it. Then slicing, use the list, use the square bracket. After you have included the name of the variable in the print function. So you now slice this. What is that I want to print? Maybe physics. So what will I put here?
You put
What is the
0.
0? So I run the code again and see the output. Okay, see now I'm having only physics because I've sliced it. So what if I want to print the same physics, but I want to use negative index? What will be the value, the index here?
The same physics.
Yeah, the same physics, but hmm?
-3. -3.
minus -3, yeah. Because stuff from here, -1, -2, -3. Still, physics. Then you can actually print two. Maybe I want to print physics and mathematics. I can say print from 0
0, comma.
to 1. No, not comma.
Okay.
From 0 to 1. Remember Excel, when you use Excel,
Okay.
when you want to add numbers in Excel, use column. Maybe the cells you want to add is white. You don't want to be typing C1 row 1. So you can just put from this cell to this cell. So the same thing is applicable here. So I can now run this code. Let's see. Okay, let me try to here. It's giving me physics alone. Okay, that's cover up for that. So that is how you can slice a list in Python.
Okay.
So you
I
can
still have.
get the last one, you can get the next one, or whichever it is.
Okay. Wait, though. I have a
Are
question.
you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay.
I have a question.
Mm,
Okay. Imagine now you want to print just physics and English, because from your code now you say I should print the variable, and the content of the variable you should print is just 0 to 2, which is 0 to 2.
mm,
But physics is 0, math is 1,
mm,
English is 2,
mm.
but not include English. Why?
See now, this one now, you are not, this one now is dealing with range.
Okay.
This is this is dealing with range. So we are printing from range 0, so that if you have this 2, 2 minus 0 is 2. That means you are looking for 2 items to print.
Okay.
So if you put 1 here, 1 minus 0 is 1. That was why it printed only physics, because it's now dealing with the range. You understand? So if you want to print English, you put 3 here. You put 3 here. So that 3 minus 0 will give you 3 items, which is everything in the list.
Okay.
So if I run this now, you'll be able to print out everything. So I can also say maybe I print from 1 to 3 and see the output. You see now, splitting it from this position 1 to position 3 with a range, excluding this particular one, the physics. You can also use the negative index and see how that works. Is that understood?
Yes, it is. I have another
Okay.
question.
Okay.
All right, because each time you are printing, it still comes back with this list bracket. So is it that the list bracket?
Yes. That is if you are using the range. If you are using the range, it comes. But if you are slicing an individual item, maybe this, it will not come with the bracket.
So if we are to write the normal program, let's just say we are doing a normal job, and is this supposed to come out with the range? Is there no way that this bracket
It will
here can be?
not. It will not. This is just a console. When you are doing a user interface, it will not. It will not come with that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This is just an interactive shell. When you are displaying it for the end users, it will not come with that. Okay, so we are going to write another program that will help determine the highest number, return the highest number in a list. A program to find the highest number in a list. Program to find the highest number in a list. So I can just say P equal to, then I put list of numbers. I just put that. I'm going to use 2 ways for this, and then I'll just use a simple way, and then after that I use the for loop and the if statement to see what is going to happen. So I can just say print. If I say print P, it's going to print everything in that list. But since the program say to find the highest number, I'm going to say print max of P. That is maximum of P. You should be able to print 88 because 88 here is the highest number. Is that understood there?
Yes.
You can also say print mean and so on. Okay, so let us try using the for loop statements. So let's say maybe max equal to P 0. We want to use that max now for our basis. You can say for k in num, okay, for k in p, and then since we have looped inside that p, we are now going to use our if statement to check what is going on. Please let me call you back. I'm in a class. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So we'll now use our if statement to check for that. We say if k is greater than the maximum number, we say if k greater than max, what should happen? If k is greater than max, you should make max to equal to k. Max equal to k. And then we print max in line with 4. Print. Okay, so we are going to do some things here and see. This might not really give us the answer, but we are going to make some rearrangements and see. You see what is happening? It's not printing 1, it printed 5, it printed 88. Why that? Because of wrong indentation. Wrong indentation. So indentation matters very much in Python, especially when you are using the loop statements. So now this is the explanation of the code. We have declared a list of many numbers here, and then we use 0 to be our basis. We use 0 to be the lowest number that that we compare every other number in the list with. So now, this for loop statement will do the initial work of going into this container, picking each of the numbers one by one. It will pick the first one and then compare it with this. Pick one, compare. Is it greater than this? If it's greater than this, it will make it to, you see now, if k, if whatever is picked here is greater than this value, max 0, it will make max to be equal to that number. Like it will pick 0, compare with, pick 1, compare with 0. If it's greater than 0, it will make this place max equal to 1 because 0 is greater than 1. So this place now will also become 1. It will come, pick 5, come here, compare with this, is greater than this, so it will remove here and fix 5. Then come here also and fix 5. It will come here, pick 3, compare with this, is not greater than 5. So it will discard that to pick 88, compare, is greater than 5 to fix here, change here to 88, also change here to 88. We do the same thing till the end. So anyone that is the greatest will be the one that remains here and also the one that remains here. And it will be the one that will be printed out on the console here. Do you get that? So why this now did not return 88 only is because of wrong indentation. So let's return this print into this place and see what will happen. If this will give us the right answer. You see now, it's printing the 88 and the 5 more than once. See, and even included 1. This is still wrong. In the wrong result, it's not giving us what we are looking for. So we return the indentation again to the origin, to that place. Are you still with me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Bazefan?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Fana, are you hearing me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
Hello?
so let's continue since it's back. So I was saying the indentation here was still wrong, so we have to return it to this place so that it will not be looped. It will not be under the loop statement. It will stand on its own and print out whatever we want. So if we run this code again here, it's going to print just the maximum number, the 88, without getting to print other numbers which are not necessary for what we want. Is that understood?
Yes.
Okay, so we write another program that will determine the length of element, the number of elements in a set. A program that will determine the length of, the number of elements in a set. So I'll still use the same thing. Then I'll say print. Remember we talked about len. Say print len of this. It will count those numbers here, this element, and then tell you how many they are. So we have 10 of them. So if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's up to 10. Let's say we include something here, maybe orange. Then let's print this again. Okay, 11. So if you keep on adding, it will continue to tell you the number of items or the number of elements that is or that are available in that list. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, so let's write a program to check the existence of an element in a list. If an element exists in a list, we are going to use that, and then we check the existence of an element in a list. We can still use this. Can still use that to do it. So you can say if 9 in P print there is there is 9. So I run this code. You see now that's printed there is 9. So you can say else print the element doesn't exist. So let's say we change here to 90, and then we run this again. See, the element doesn't exist. So that's how you could use to check for the existence of elements. Or maybe let's say we do something like this. Maybe you say fruit equal to input enter name of fruit to search. So we say fruit equal to, you now list fruits, orange, mango, grape. Then you can add as many as you want. So from here, what do we say? We say if, instead of 90, we now say if fruit in fruits, print fruits is available, else there is no such, the fruits, let me say the fruits does not exist. So here I'll run this, then I will input fruit to search. You can say orange. Are you still with me?
Yes.
Okay, you see what it has displayed? I typed orange and it say that orange does not exist when orange is there. So do you know the reason for that?
I feel it's because the fruit variable is in capital letter.
Which one?
The number two, the line two.
This one here.
Yes.
No. You know, this fruit is different from this one.
But you said that you can't start a variable with a capital letter, they're not acceptable.
You didn't say that. Capital letters are acceptable. It's only you can't start with a number. You can't start with a dash. Okay, the reason why that is showing this is because I look at here, this place. I started this fruit, this O with capital letter, whereas the one here is with small letter. So
Okay.
I said when we are starting that Python is case sensitive. So whatever is typed here must be typed correctly down here, otherwise it will not accept it. Even this one here, this is fruit, this is fruit. Even though I use small letters here, then I use here, this is different. This one here is different from this because the first letter start with capital, then this one start with small letter. So if I want it, so let me run this again and say, then I start with small letters now. You see orange. You see now orange is available because I started with small letter and it matches with this. So what I would do here now is to say dot lower, so that whatever someone typed here will be converted to small letters since these ones are all in small letters. Whatever someone input here, whether you type in small letter, capital letter, it will be converted to small letters to match. So I will run this again. Then maybe I type this again in capital letters, mango. Say mango is available. So you make it to be all round configured. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay. So okay, that is where we are going to stop. Next time we are going to look at list methods. And this list method, we have looked at some of them when we're dealing with slides. We talked about the dot upper, the replace, the lower, the capitalize, sentence case, and the rest of them. So it's just an extension of the other one.
Okay.
So now I'm going to leave you with this assignment. So should I post it on the group chat or should I read the question for you?
Post it on the group chat. Can you hear me?
Yes,
So I was saying you should post it on the group chat.
it's okay. I'll do that.
All right.
So if there is no more question, that's where we shall stop.
Okay.
Okay, I've sent it to the group so you can get a question from there.
Okay.
All right.